yeah, we are going to, though, go ahead and move into CrypticCorner. Let's see here. I want to start. Yeah. Okay. And again, let me know if you can hear this, okay? Because yeah. Share audio. There we go. Okay, so this was from this was released on the 10th, put out on the 10th by Mr. What's his name? Mr. MBB333. He does astronomical and weather phenomena. This guy would make you want to pull your hair out if you are an astrophysicist. Let's hear what he has to say about this sighting from the ISS, though. Mysterious craft follows the ISS.
Flying machine that if you're going to see in this video has features. This is the original video.
I'm going too fast. Yeah, I'm going
video as I received it from EH. And this is from October the 6th of 2022, just a few days ago. And you're going to see this object stay in the field of view. I'm not going to play the entire 7 minutes because you really can't see anything but that right there. But I will fast forward it through the original segment that was shared with me, once again, by EH. And it clears the field of view in about 7 minutes. But I've got it fast forward 4 times, so it's going to be much faster than that. Because I want to get to the part where I can zoom.
You all can hear okay, I hope. What we're looking at in this video is this little shape here, this little white or gray. I mean, it looks white because the way the sun's reflecting off of it. Because it's albedo. But yeah, that's what we're watching.
Zoom in and show you guys the features on this craft, and you're going to be able to see a flashing light down inside this craft. Very bizarre. That's where the live feed paused. I left that in there. I could have taken it out, but I wanted to leave everything the same the way EH sent it to me, and I haven't even zoomed in or anything right here. This is how it entered the field of view over here on the far left.
Hi, Kendra.
And right here, you can tell it's definitely some sort of a craft, but you can't see any details or at least any specifics. We're going to go
Hey, John Hudson.
in real tight on this thing, and it almost looks like it was maybe taking photos of the space station. You're going to see a repetitive flash down inside this craft. The top of it has what looks like a octagon on the top of it that's hollow, that has some sort of a light flashing down in the center of this thing. The front has some sort of what looks like a half moon on the front of it, maybe some sort of a navigation device.
So I don't know if has anybody else seen this yet. I just saw this for the first time when Mr. M. I keep forgetting his name because it's just a bunch of letters. Mr. MBB333. When they presented it, is the first time I saw this footage. So if you're familiar with this footage,
you're going to see it accelerate right here, right towards the end of its field of view. See it right there take off? It accelerates. So that tells me it has a propulsion system.
Right, now I'm
going to take it back to Earth.
We're zooming in on it. Get kind of a basic shape. Looks largely spherical with extension off of the front end of it there. So
original speed, and we're going to see a flashing light. You're going to see surface features. Again, you can't make this stuff up. This was following the space station just a few days ago on October the 6th. Here's when it first entered
on October the 6th. We're going to have to explore that. Hang in there.
Field of view. And again, I'm going to kind of fast forward just a little bit because you really can't see too much. We're able to go in really close and you can see features on this flying machine. Those are the pauses that were in the actual live feed. Like I said, I could have taken them out, but I left them in just for authenticity purposes. This original video,
I don't doubt you, Mr. MBB333.
You're going to start to see the flashing light right there. See it? Those aren't clouds or anything. That is a light that is cycling inside this flying machine.
I wonder if it if it matches up with some FFA regulations. What do you guys think?
Know if that's the power source of this flying machine, because after we saw it accelerate, that tells us that this thing has some sort of a propulsion system on it. It could be a lens, maybe some sort of a camera that was taking images of the space station. I have no idea. I'm just trying to think outside the box here, because it's not every day that
And you guys will come to find that we'd probably need to think inside the box with this one.
you see these things flying above the Earth, visible from the International Space Station. Mary Hall sends in a lot of excellent observations from the ISS live cam. This one here is quite unique. I will say it has, again, as you're going to see some sort of a...
And then not to break anybody's cycle of disbelief, but there is a lot of stuff floating around up there that the ISS can catch on camera. Sometimes this is not space debris.
A feature on the front, don't know what it is, but it almost looks like some sort of a navigation device, maybe some sort of a radar, a sonar. Then there's something right there below my cursor. See it right there? There's an independent white object there. And then that center looks like an octagon. And then the light that's flashing is inside of the octagon. It's not necessarily on top. It's coming from inside the craft. The backside over here that looks dark, those look like some sort of windows. I don't know. It's difficult to say. That's just a wild guess, but they're dark, and they almost...
You can't tell the propulsion behind it, though. They're right to the left of where his mouse is. Watch right here. There's a little
bit of a shine to them. Here's where it takes off. See it?
Yeah.
That's got a propulsion system on it. Now we're going in even closer. So here we go. And you're going to be able to see...
I will say I appreciate this because I don't have the software to do all this zoom, and I do, but not on this computer here. When I get my old computer back, I will have that software again, and we'll start doing deeper dives into these where I can do some measurements and slow-mo and all that good stuff. But for right now, I'm very grateful that this channel has already done all that stuff for us. So thank you, Mr. MBB333.
Kind of down inside that octagon that's on top that allows us to look inside this craft. This is when it first entered the field of view. And again, it was a little out of focus. You really couldn't tell what it was. You could tell it was some sort of a craft, but it gets into focus the farther we move it ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and take it forward up to, I don't know, right around in here. Okay, here we go. This is when this front feature becomes more visible. There's the secondary,
and this is a good
feature that's much smaller behind the feature here in the front. Here's the octagon, and you can clearly see the light flashing inside the octagon. That's down inside that flying machine, whatever it may be. Looks dark over here on this side. Obviously, it's on the opposite side of the sun. And they at times appear to have like a shine to them, like maybe they're windows, or maybe there's some sort of solar panels. I don't know. You can clearly see the light down there flashing over.
Yeah, we'll have to find out about that, won't we?
And over again. And it doesn't appear to be on the same cycle. It's just kind of random. You'll see it flash, and then it won't flash for a couple seconds. Then it'll flash, and then flash a second later. I don't know. Like I said, that could be the power source to this craft.
It actually looks more like a puffin, Aunt Jer, but that's a good observation. It does look like a puffin's head. Like this is the head.
Or it could be just some sort of a lens in there that's maybe opening and closing. Maybe it's taking photos. I have no idea. But right now it is directly under the International Space Station at this time. That's why you can see so good down in the top of that octagon. And the reason I call that
it's running right beside it. It's almost like it's orbiting beside
octagon, because you can see here these edges are straight. That's not round inside there. So I'm assuming that's some sort of a six-sided octagon. I don't think it has 8 sides. I think it has 6 sides. But there's that object. See it down in there, that white light? See it flashing?
I do see the light flashing.
And it's just random. It's not like it's on a perfect cycle. It's just randomly flashing. Super weird. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Here it is. This was above the Earth.
You can't make this stuff up because this was a real observation. It's not made up.
It may still be above the Earth, but it was visible in the ISS live cam for about 7 minutes. At original speed, it took 7 minutes to clear the field of view. This is the original speed, and I left it this way because we can get a good look down in the top of this thing. And here in just a couple of seconds, you're going to see this thing kind of drift off to the left. I left it like that for a reason so that you can clearly see it kind of amplifies the acceleration process. I don't have it in fast forward, but you can see it accelerate easier because it goes from the left-hand side of the field of view over to the right-hand side of the field of view on its own. I did not do that.
So it was traveling in orbit with the ISS and then it accelerated. Gotcha.
That via editing techniques. It did it on its own because it propelled. So again, this thing has some sort of a propulsion system. Maybe this light down in here is part of its power source. I have no idea. You can see this thing here on the front sticking out. You can tell that's all by itself, and it apparently serves some sort of purpose. It almost looks like a half moon sticking out there. And then there's a small one up here. So this thing is definitely of intelligent design. There's something inside the
It is of intelligent design, he says. We'll see.
Object flashing right now. Again, it's right under the International Space Station. If I had to guess, I would say this thing is somewhere between 30 and maybe 50, 60 feet wide. It's difficult to tell. It's a pretty good ways away from the space station. I am heavily zoomed in right on top of this thing as it's above the Earth on the daylight side of the Earth from October the 6th of 2022. And you're going to see this thing drift.
It is on the daylight side of the Earth. So far, he's not said anything untrue.
Almost out of the field of view over here, but it's going to come back in, and it's going to come back in on its own. It's almost like maybe it slowed down temporarily right here because I didn't adjust the frame here. I could have to keep it centered, and normally that's what I would do. But because this thing accelerated, I left it like it is. It's going to almost disappear and then come back into the field of view on its own. So it's got a propulsion system on it, and as you're going to see again here in just a second, some sort of a mysterious object following the International Space Station and then speeding away again on October 6th of 2022. And this would have been on the day
October 6th of 2022.
Daylight side of the Earth, obviously. I don't know what time. Video footage was noticed by EH, who shared the video with me. Actually sent it in yesterday, and I'm sharing it with you guys today. So it's almost out of the field of view. I'm not editing this in any way other than what you guys saw, and it's going to come back in on its own. Okay, here we go. It's coming back into the field of view via its own power, the propulsion system. See, it's accelerating. Look at that.
Yep.
Wow.
There's its propulsion.
And the lights flashing down inside the craft.
And you can see
there it goes
behind it.
I'm not editing this. It is moving quicker now from left to right, and then ultimately out of the field of view and then out in front of the space station, I suppose. But from there, that's all we can see, and it disappears. So some sort of a strange object following the space station for about 7 or 8 minutes. It was in the field of view for 7 minutes, and we can look down inside this object that has right there a flashing light inside of it. Again, you can't make this stuff up. There it was.
All right, so that was a claim about some serious craft following the ISS. So he gave us some details at which you think someone who had a channel like this would preferably do some fact checking on what exactly is being cited, and maybe look into the dates that this happened and what else was going on with the ISS specifically. It's October. Let's look here. We have a 3 minutes. I keep going to stop camera. I need to do. Okay. So we are going to. All right, so Latest four-member SpaceX crew, including cosmonauts, welcomed aboard the space station. October 6th, a four-member SpaceX crew, Dragon team, including a Russian cosmonaut and the first Native American woman sent into orbit, safely docked with the International Space Station, the ISS, on Thursday. And to reiterate, Thursday, the 6th. And moved aboard to begin a 5-month science mission. Rendezvous of the latest NASA expedition to the orbiting laboratory came just after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, following a 29-hour flight to the ISS as the two vehicles circled the globe some 250 miles above the Earth on the west coast of Africa, according to NASA's webcast of the docking. The autonomously flying Crew Dragon capsule, dubbed Endurance, was lofted into orbit on Wednesday atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. The crew consisted of 2 American NASA astronauts, Flight Commander Nicole Anupa Mann, 45, and pilot Josh Casada, 49, as well as a Japanese astronaut, Koichi Wakata, 59, a veteran of 4 previous space flights, and cosmonaut Anna Kakina, 38, the first Russian aboard an American spacecraft in 20 years. The inclusion of Kikana, the lone female cosmonaut, in active service with the Russian space agency Roscosmos, was a sign of continued U.S.-Russian cooperation in space despite escalating tensions between Moscow and Washington over the war in the Ukraine. Kakina, I think I was saying that wrong before, Kakina joined the SpaceX Crew Hive flight under a new ride-sharing agreement signed in July between NASA and the Roscosmos, allowing the two countries to keep flying on each other's spacecrafts to and from ISS. The team was led by Mann, the first indigenous woman NASA has sent to space and the first woman to take the commander's seat of a SpaceX Crew Dragon. Mann, a U.S. Marine Corps colonel and combat fighter pilot, is also among the first group of 18 astronauts selected from NASA's upcoming Artemis mission, aimed at returning humans to the moon later this decade. We look forward to getting to work, Mann radioed moments after the link up was completed. The arrival of the Endurance crew spent nearly 2 hours conducting a series of standard procedures such as leak checks and pressurized chamber between the capsule and ISS before opening the entry hatch. A live NASA video feed showed the smiling new arrivals weightlessly floating headfirst through the padded passageway one by one into the station. They were greeted and hugged and handshaked by the 4 members of the team. They are replacing 3 Americans and the Italian station commander, Samantha Cristoforetti, as well as by 2 Russians and a 4th NASA astronaut who shared Soyuz flight to the ISS last month. A lot of people are working hard to make sure our common manned space exploration will continue to exist and develop further. We are living proof of this, Kakina said in Russian remarks translated to English through a mission control interpreter during a brief welcoming ceremony. The Endurance crew marked the 5th full-fledged ISS team has flown aboard a SpaceX capsule since the private rocket venture founded by Tesla CEO Elon Musk, sending our U.S. astronauts to space in May of 2020. SpaceX has flown 8 crewed missions to orbit in all, including non-NASA flights. The new arrivals are set to conduct more than 200 experiments during their 150-day mission, many focused on medical research, ranging from 3D bioprinting of human tissue to a study of bacteria cultured in microgravity. ISS, spanning the length of a football field, has been continuously occupied since 2000, operated by U.S. Russian-led partnership that include Canada, Japan, and 11 European countries. Okay, so there was a space flight, as we can see, to the ISS on October 6th aboard the Endurance, a SpaceX Dragon capsule. So let us look into the SpaceX Dragon capsule. Let's see here. We are going to pull that up now. Here we are. Okay, SpaceX Dragon capsule. This is from January 31st of 2020. So it's a bit dated, but it gives us a good image of how this capsule looks and functions. Dragon capsules are something that SpaceX has been working on for quite a few years. Anybody who follows space exploration should be kind of familiar with these. Actually, that's not giving me the good image that I wanted. Where was that? SpaceX Dragon capsule. Come on. We're going to look it up. Yeah, here we go. So we got the SpaceX Dragon capsules. Look similar to this. If you look at this image here, this is the one that really punctuates what our friend there was seeing. This is the port. Let me see. Is there a way I can make this bigger? This is actually from October 14th. So this is about this capsule. This is actually the capsule that was captured on that video. So this is what we're looking at. Flashing lights in here. There's the black stuff they're talking about in the little nose coming off the edge. The 4th long duration astronaut team launched by SpaceX to the International ISS for NASA departed the orbiting outpost on Friday to begin their flight back to Earth, capping a science mission nearly 6 months. The SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule, carrying 3 U.S. NASA astronauts and an Italian crewmate from the European Space Agency, undocked the ISS at 12:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to embark on the return flight, expected to last nearly 5 hours. Live video showing the capsule drifting away from the station as the 2 vehicles soared high over the North Atlantic, showing that on NASA webcast of the undocking. Do they have that video here? Because I bet it's the same freaking video. Yeah. So yeah, not a mistake. Is a Dragon, a SpaceX Dragon capsule. So yeah, that's what we're looking at in that video. Not unfortunately not something from beyond, but that was the most recent thing that popped up for me here in CrypticCorner, and I thought I would just bust it right out and debunk this this claim that we are capturing unidentified space debris, or perhaps unidentified spacecraft in this case, since they did comment that it was it was self-propelled, and we did see that. So yeah, we are definitely looking at a spacecraft, but just not the one that you think that we are looking at. Okay, so that was Cryptic Corner. If you disagree with my idea, of course, definitely leave it in the comments below. I'd love to have some friction down there regarding this topic. But I think this was pretty well debunked at this point. Again, feel free to disagree. Just let me know why. But this was, in my opinion, definitely that dragon capsule on its way back home. So thank you for joining us for Cryptic Corner this morning. Let me start all over again. Thank you for joining us for Cryptic Corner this evening. It's actually morning here now. I'm live from the Hive, but you are watching this Friday night with Bree in the side chat, hanging out with you, and we appreciate you every one of you all come in and watch this as well. And remember to be kind, take care, and we'll see you next time.